I'm going to get out of the wind right now. Today we're going to talk about a subject which is not very often talked about in network marketing because we're so busy teaching the basics of network marketing on a regular basis, like how to invite and how to present and how to do a three-way call and what is meeting etiquette and how to share the products. And we teach people how to become senior executive marketing directors really well. I mean, hence in my organization, there's well over 1,000 senior executive marketing directors. But the question then comes is, okay, I want to turn this into a business. And for me to grow this into a business that can really make the lifestyle changes I want to have happen, I'm going to have to bring some other people along with me, and I need to start moving on to the positions called vice presidential, vice chairman, chairman, and up the lane from there. So how do you do that? Because, I'm understanding how I personally get to be a senior executive marketing director because I can control that. I can go recruit people. I can go share products. I can do that myself. I can be in charge of me. But how do I do the next thing, which is have other people rank up, as they say? And the funny thing is sometimes people try to do it like they're at the gym, like they want to muscle it. Like, well, I'll just build other people up. I'll just do it myself. So I'll go get my mother, my brother, my cousin. I'll stick them in there, and I'll turn them into senior executive marketing directors, but I'm really doing all the work. And yes, you would get a nice jacket, and yes, you would get a standing ovation from your team for a rank advancement, but from a standpoint of making more money, you haven't done anything because really it's still you doing all the work by yourself. You just have a nicer jacket. And that's not what we're talking about now. What we're talking about right now is how do you help other people advance their businesses. And one of the first things you have to do a mindset change. Because a lot of times people think, well, the key to doing this business is I'm going to go find some people and they're going to go build businesses and it'll help me rank advance. And that's true. It does help you. But the mindset changes. And it sounds like it's not a mindset change, but it's a real gigantic mindset change, which is I'm going to go find some people who want to change their lives, and I'm going to help them do that. And the byproduct will be me advancing. It's the reverse of what a lot of people think, which is I need to rank advance, so I need to find some people, versus I really want to go help some people change their lives. Because when you start looking for people who you want to help, it's different than trying to find people who are going to help you. Nobody wants to join this business so you can rank advance. Nobody wants to go become a senior executive marketing director simply because it's good for you. You get a better car bonus. You get a jacket. They shouldn't. They should be joining because they say, you know something, Corey? I see all these cool benefits of being a Youngevity distributor. I want to go after the same things you're going after. I want to have all the benefits for my family. Can you help me do that? That's what I got to find. So when people tell me, how do I rank advance, you got to find people who want the same things you do. It's not about, I'm going to go add volume underneath Mary and add volume underneath Cindy and I'll add volume underneath Susan and I rank advance. Yes, you might rank advance 1 month, but if you're talking about actually financially advancing, you're not doing anything at all. Now, when somebody tells me, I want to make $5,000 a month. Okay. Well, typically in network marketing, forgetting coding bonuses because that's something you get once from that. I'm just take the coding bonuses out for right now. From a residual income position, you probably need to have $70,000 in volume. And people go, well, yeah, I get my $5,000 plus I get all those extra codings. Yeah, you do. You get the codings too. You get the codings as well. So maybe it's $10,000. I don't know. But if someone wants to get to $5,000 a month or $6,000 a month, they want to get to $70,000 in volume, doing it by yourself is probably impossible to go out there and spin that many plates and help that many customers. And thinking of that, you go, well, how do I get it done? You say, well, can I go out and find 3 people who each want to earn maybe $3,000 each, maybe $2,500 each, maybe $5,000, maybe $1,000? Can I find 3 people who have an income that they want to obtain? And that's one of the reasons when we talk about, the first day they join, We make a plan with them. One of the questions I ask them is, okay, if we're sitting on September 1st, 2016, it's 1 year from today, how much money do you want to be making in your business 1 year from today? And if I have somebody say, well, I'd like to make, $5,000, a year next year, that'd be great. I want to make a real business. Well, if I made $3,000, I'm going, okay, I think I found one of my people. So then now the next question I have to ask them is, well, how much time will you put in each week on average to make that happen so 2016 is like this great year for you? And if they give me a reasonable number, like, 8, 10, 12, 14 hours a week, I'm going, all right, I found a person who I can pour myself into, help them get to their $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 a month that they want to get to by getting customers and distributors. I'm going to help them achieve their goal. But if they get that goal, I'm one-third my way to my big goal. You see, that's how I look at everything. It's not like how much can I personally do, but can I start finding other people who want to do something themselves, and then I'm helping them. I'm not forcing them. I'm not having to reignite them every day. I don't have to build up their dreams and goals every day because they already have it. Because sometimes people go, okay, I enrolled 3 people, and they all joined, and they all bought products, and they're all in auto ship. Great, I got my 3 people. None of those 3 people have a real interest in doing the business. Otherwise, you basically just have 3 really nice distributors who are buying each month. Well, I'll put some other people underneath them. Well, that's just you all working by yourself. So my goal is to find other people who have a personal desire to grow their businesses, and my goal is to put them in the same system that built me to Senior Executive Marketing Director. So I'm going to say right now that you are in our system, become a Senior Executive Marketing Director. That means you're going to have 3 regional directors underneath you. You're going to have $5,400 in volume. You're going to have a bunch of customers, a bunch of distributors. You've learned how to invite. You've learned how to present. You've learned how to make plans. And you're in motion. All you have to do is have other people duplicate what you just did. Now, if you get fortunate and you enroll a Mike Battistelli or a Lorette Willis or a Deb Brookshin or a Jenny Smith or a Rebecca Rohr, I could go on and name lots of people, then that's even better because they're going to run with the ball on their own, and they're going to become chairman and vice chairman and presidentials, and they've got gigantic goals, and they've got gigantic skills that already come in. Fantastic. Then you got even blessed because you introduced it to a person with already magnificent talent. But the average person comes into networking, I just want to see if they have a desire. I mean, to me, that's the biggest thing. Do you have a desire to go do something, and what is it you want to do? And why is it you want to do it? And how much time do you want to put into it? And then we basically teach them how to become a Senior Executive Marketing Director. Now, one of the big fallacies is that once I become a vice presidential or vice chairman, I'm done. I'm kind of made. Well, I was looking at that metric just a few minutes ago when I thought the call was at 5:30, looking at my new vice chairman and chairman. And a lot of them have a lot of $5,600 positions, $5,400, $5,700 positions, new baby Senior Executive Marketing Directors. Love them, but they're very new and they're very small. If I only have 3 Senior Executive Marketing Directors who are at 5,000 points or 6,000 points, I shouldn't feel very secure because a Senior Executive Marketing Director with, say, 6,000 points might be making a couple $100s a month after they buy their own products. We need to help them advance their business beyond just being a Senior Executive Marketing Director for me. We've got to advance their business where they're making some money and they're seeing benefit to themselves that they want to keep going. I'm not done with them because they're at $5,401. I would go to sleep worried every night because at $5,400, they're not making enough to be really a meaningful business impact for them. If they're just here for the products, that's fantastic. If they're just here to be mission-oriented, that's fantastic. But most people who become seniors are here because they're trying to go on a financial path, and we haven't finished with them yet. If their goal is to make $3,000, or 4,000 or 5,000. Just because they became a senior executive is good for you and your rank advancement, but we have not finished with that person, and they're likely to quit on you if you kind of treat them as if they're done. Because for somebody to make $3,000 or $4,000, right, they're going to have to get their volume up to like 20,000 or so. So just because they're 1/4 of the way there, and yes, their rank helps you advance, doesn't really help you long-term have security. I go to bed at night really secure, knowing that my key leaders are making some good dollars as business people in this business, that they have a good relationship with me, that they love the products, they believe in the products, they believe in the company, that we've handled any problems that they have every single day. And if I don't have that feeling, then I'm worried, because I am worried for my newer distributors who are just fledglings in it. So one of the things you need to do is identify your first 3 people who you think will be your first 3 senior executive marketing directors. Once you identify those people, the next step is getting your advanced leader, whoever your vice chairman or chairman is above you, to engage with you. It's like, hey, in this case, I'll just use, since Lorette became a senior vice chairman, Lorette, I just found Mary, and Mary's identified that she wants to be a senior executive marketing director. We made a game plan. She wants to make $3,000 a month. She wants to work 12 hours a week. She says she's willing to do home meetings. I need you to be talking with her as well. Let's do a 3-way with her. Why am I 3-weighing a person who's already bought a CEO pack, who's already committed to becoming a senior executive marketing director, who's already committed to working 15 hours a week, who's excited? Why? I'm 3-weighing it with my leader because I need that person who's my new senior to have another person beyond me who they can go to if they need somebody at that moment. Like, oh, I need to make a 3-way. Corey's busy. Oh, I know. I got another upline who I can also call. I also want the people above me who are my chairman and my vice chairman to know who my new leaders are, so they will be contacting them in addition to me. I want my new potential leaders to be getting calls, not just from me, but from 1 or 2 leaders above me on a regular basis, encouraging them, answering their questions, making themselves available 3 ways, coaching them, giving them advice, basically mentoring them through the beginning. So just because you're a senior executive marketing director doesn't mean that you have to bring up your next senior executive marketing directors on your own. In fact, I recommend you don't. I recommend that you get other leaders involved. And I want you to give your new person who just said they're going to become a senior executive marketing director, I want to give you, here's the phone number and here's the email address for the 3 active leaders above me. And I'm going to introduce you to the one closest to you who's a chairman or above. Remember, whether I know there's a lot of vice chairmen on this call and a lot of chairmen on this call, and you may not think you're a big deal, and you shouldn't think you're a big deal. I mean, we're just people. But to the new person, believe it or not, you're kind of a rock star. To the new person, you're kind of like, like a celebrity. You're a person they want to become. So although you don't see yourself that way, which is good, we all should be humble, the other people, when you call them and say, hi, this is Dr. Corey Gold. I'm one of the senior vice chairman above you and one of your wives. They're like, wow, a senior vice chairman called me. Why? Well, Mary, who's your enroller and your senior executive marketing director, told me all about you and said how great you were and wanted me to get in contact with you, and I want to make myself available to you. You see, we're not asking that new person who joined underneath you to make a month-long commitment. We're asking them to make a year-long commitment to their personal business, which means they need to have relationships with more than just you. Because there may be a day when they go, oh, you know something? I want to contact somebody who even has a little bit more background than you do. Okay, don't take that as a negative. I call Tom Chenal for stuff all the time. And I'm an ambassador. Why? Because sometimes he has different knowledge or different information or different contacts than I do. So I want the new person not only to have my information, but to have the people information above me. Now, when you teach people who are your 3 new people, one of those people or 2 of those people or 3 of those people may turn out not to be the people. Because somebody said to me, Corey, how many people do I have to enroll who say they want to do the business to find the 3 that will? And my answer is always as many as it takes. For some people, it will be only 3. For some people, it could be 6. For some people, it could be 5. For some people, it could be 10. I don't know who you're enrolling. But it's probably going to be more than 3. So one of the things I'm telling you is that although somebody starts the business today, gets excited, they might even buy a CEO mega pack, they tell you they're going to make $3,000 a month or $5,000 a month, or whatever they say by the end of the year, they commit to you for working for 15 hours a week that they're going to build their business. Then one weekend, their mom says, oh, it's a pyramid, and they get out. Well, you have to kind of understand that's part of the business. Now, it's more likely to happen to you the less you communicate with your senior executive marketing, the new person. If you're only talking to that person once every couple of weeks, it's very likely to happen very soon. The newer a person is, the more contact you have to have with them. Because the more they're going to be getting things they've never seen before, probably everything's a new thing they haven't seen before. Think of your first 2 weeks in the business. And think if you weren't a nutrition person. So you just joined this company called Youngevity. It's got this doctor named Dr. Wallach. He says you have to have these 90 essential nutrients. There's 1,000 different products. And there's a compensation plan that has 10 different ways you get paid. We need to boil it down to make it simpler for people. Really, when people say, well, what are the main things I need to do? We need to get 3 people who each get 3 people and try to get to $5,400 in volume. That's going to be distributors and customers. I don't, well, how do I get this bonus and that bonus and this bonus or that bonus? I focus on the coding bonuses as people get by their CEO starting packs. And by the way, a CEO pack is not appropriate for every person. If somebody tells me they just want to use the products, just buy the products, be a customer. If somebody tells me, like my mom's a distributor. I think my mom is a CEO, but that's just because, I'm her son and she gets gung-ho for what I do. But if my mom wasn't my mom, just a lady I met, she'd just be a $25 distributor. She just refers me to like one person a month or, a person here, a person there. She's not out to build a business. She just likes the products and refers them to her friends. She's not looking to become a senior executive marketing director, and she's not income motivated. She's kind of retired. But if somebody comes to me and says, I want to make $5,000 a month by the end of the year, I am going to recommend they become a CEO because that's the best route to do that. And then, of course, they're going to have to go build their business out. So I understand that along the way, people coming in my downline are going to have different motivations. And I need to honor their motivations. I can't change their motivations to be what I want them to be for me. They've got to be the motivation that they have for their own reason, whatever that might be. So let's back it up again. You've invited somebody to look at Youngevity. They've been to a presentation, whether you did it or your upline did it or somebody did it for you, and they said at the sorting step or the inviting step or the asking step, I could see myself doing that. Fantastic. Tell me a little bit about what you want to do. I'm here to earn significant income, make this a big deal for me and my family. How do you see this being something for you and your family? I want to earn some real money with this. I'm willing to devote time to doing it. Okay, great. How much do you want to make in your first year? I want to make $5,000 a month. Great. Let's get you set up as a CEO. Let's make a list for you. Let's start contacting people. Let's start inviting people. Let's have a meeting in your home. Let's do 3-way calls. Bottom line is what was done for you or should have been done for you, you want to do for your people. For me to get 3 senior executive marketing directors, I'm usually working on 6 because I'm always figuring that some of them aren't going to stick to it. They're going to quit. And by the way, if all 6 work, great. I just become a vice chairman. Good for me. Now, my biggest goal in network marketing is not my jacket. I know some of you are shocked. It's not my ring. I didn't join network marketing originally to have a jacket or to get a ring. I did join network marketing to earn income. So my biggest goal has always been volume. So I'm happy when I see distributors come in, when I see customers come in, product users of any sort. I'm happy to see them. My whole goal is to build volume. Now, sometimes you'll have one person in your organization who might go nuts. You enroll me, and I get $5 million underneath me. Well, that's great. You're still going to have to go build up other legs, and those legs may have 5,000, 6,000 here, 20,000 there, 10,000 there. They're all important legs for you. No leg is unimportant. So sometimes you may get lucky and somebody just really tears it up and goes to town. That's fantastic. That's the exception to the rule. I don't want you to think that I'm just going to sign somebody up and they're going to go crazy and they're going to build my business and I'm like lights out. It does happen occasionally, but it's rare. So I have to understand that for me to get to my goals, I'm probably going to have to get more people to join who say they really want to do this than I really may have thought of in the beginning. I think of all the people I've signed up over the years who said they wanted to be successful, and quite frankly, most of them didn't do it. Think of all the people you know who want to lose weight who didn't do it, or the people who were going to run a marathon and didn't do it, or the people who were going to go to church each weekend and didn't do it. It's just the nature of people. I can't take it as a personal offense that somebody else has changed their mind on their personal dreams. I can try to connect with them. I can try to ask them, hey, Deb, you told me you wanted to work from home. You told me you were tired of commuting. You told me you wanted to retire fairly soon. I know you're kind of fading away on this, but what is your plan to get to your goal if you don't do this? I mean, I can try talking to them, but if they don't buy into their own goal and their own dream, it isn't going to happen. So let's look at the key points one more time. The key point is you're probably going to have to recruit a lot more people who say they want to do the business than 3 or 6 or 9 to get it done. Once you get a person who says they want to do it, you need to show them the shape of a senior executive marketing director. They need to understand what it looks like to build that. They need to make a commitment for a year to what they're going to do. They need to commit to you that they'll make a contact list. They're going to have to commit to you that they'll do the invitation. They're going to have to commit to you that they'll do meetings if they really want to get it done. And you're going to have to work with them, probably talk to them every day for the next year, if not every day, every other day for the next year. So you're kind of marrying them to some degree. You're also going to introduce that person to the vice chairman or chairman above them, who's also going to marry them to a smaller degree and talk to them probably once a week. So if I'm Deb Brookshire, vice chairman, and I have underneath me a senior executive marketing director, and they told me that they just found their new great person, that's fantastic. But I need to be talking to that person. So Deb's going to be calling that person like once a week. Hey, I just want to check in with you. I know that you're working with, Mary, and Mary says great things about you. Tell me how the week went. Tell me what you're doing. Tell me how I can help you with 3 ways. And if they bring some people in, hey, I saw you this week. You brought 3 people in. Congratulations. Tell me how the week went. When somebody's getting calls from their upline and from their upline's leader, it's very encouraging. So if you are a vice chairman or presidential or senior vice chairman on this call, one of the things that probably would help you in your business is making sure you know all your seniors, talk to them every day or every other day, and find out who their key people are and talk to them at least once a week. That communication is really important. Now, the next thing is understanding that when your people do, as they say in the industry, pop, they become vice chairman. That's fantastic. They become seniors. That's fantastic. But they're still very, very, very fragile because they're so small and they're so new. And beyond that, not only are they small and they're new, they're not making a lot of money yet. So when people say things to them or things get a little wiggy or hard, if you're only making a couple $100 a month, you might just quit. Why? You don't have a lot to lose. So I want to make sure that I don't just say, wow, they got the $5,401.5 QV using triple QV, they're done. The opposite. I want to know, are they working toward their check amount that they wanted to? And I'll congratulate them. I'll send them a personal note in the mail. I'll make a big deal for them on my recognition call. I want to celebrate the 5,400 points and the right structure. But now it's like, hey, congratulations, you got your pin. That's awesome. But now we got to find your people who want to rank up, because you still told me you want to make $3,000 a month by the end of the year, and we're just starting that process. So, yes, Senior Executive Marketing Director is a big deal on the staff. It's a huge thing. It shows that you can recruit people. It shows that you can get customers. It shows that you can stick to things. It shows that you can invite. It shows that you know the basics. It is a leadership step that is really very valuable and should be applauded. But for you to get to your financial goal that you told me, we're just starting still. And I got to keep walking you upward in your business, because if I don't, there's a very good chance you'll quit on yourself. You see, I talk to Bill Andreoli every week. I talk to Steve Wallace every week. I talk to Mike Randolph every week. I talk to Tom Chenault probably every day. I talk to my upline people all the time, because why? We need to be connected. Well, if I need to be connected and I'm doing quite well financially, what makes me think that people who are making less money than me don't need that same relationship? They do. And the reason I'm harping on that a little bit is that I've seen so many people over the years get 3 people to $5,400 by hook or by crook, by triple QV or whatever contest it might be, and then kind of, well, they were a useful purpose for me. So I'm an awful upline if that's how I'm thinking. If I'm thinking that they were a useful purpose for me, then I use them. And that's not how this group rolls. That's not how you roll. I know this group. This group is very mission-focused, very servant-orientated. You really, truly do want that person that you brought in to achieve their goal. So I do applaud that you got your 3 people to 5,400, and you popped your new rank, and you've got a jacket, and that's exciting as get out. I would go to bed at night worried about all the $5,400 senior executive marketing directors that I have, because I'm worried that they're not far enough along. I want them to go farther. I'm going to call them up the next day and say, congratulations, your gift's in the mail. I'm so excited for you. Now we've got to keep building your volume, because for you to get to 3,000, we've got to get your volume up to like 30,000. So we've got to keep moving and keep a ranking advancing you. So I think that's some of the key points. Key point number 1, your new people that you want to be senior executive marketing directors, they've got to know what it looks like. What does the structure look like? And what do I have to do on a day-to-day basis to do it? And you can't know who that person is until they raise their hand and say, I'm that person. In other words, I want my people to tell me, Corey, I'm the person who's going to become a senior. I want to do it in the next 60 days. I want to be making $3,000 to $5,000 over the next year. I'm willing to put the time in. I'm willing to do the calls. I'm willing to do the meetings. I'm willing to make a contact list. I'm willing to do what it takes to get it done with your help. Then I want to make sure I stick to them like glue, and I want to make sure my leader above me sticks to them like glue, to make sure that they understand that no matter what wiggy thing that happens, they talk to their mom, their dog, their cat, their brother, their preacher, whatever it might be, whatever it is, we're there to catch them when that thing doesn't go perfectly well. I also want to make sure I do lots of three-way calls with my personals at the beginning. I did a bunch for my seniors today. Why? I've got a number of seniors who are, I would say under 50,000 points, and they still need day-to-day help. All right, let's do it. So I think that's the key thing. And you want to start celebrating success of people. When you see a person become an EMT, celebrate it. When you see that person, break their, first, $1,000 mark, celebrate it. When they get to 4,000, celebrate everything they're doing along the pathway, because they're not getting big checks. So if they're not getting big checks and you're not celebrating it, it just seems like a lot of work for very little pay. So, yes, it's fun to cheer your senior executives along and your vice presidents along, but I'm telling you, cheer the new person even more because they got a lot less to lose, and the goal line seems a lot farther away. So we've got to take that apprehensive moment they have and turn it into an opportunity to build them. And we teach them exactly what you're going through right now to become a senior executive. Remember all of it. Remember the times it doesn't work. Remember the things when you get mad. Remember when it's victorious, because you're going to have to mentor other people through this yourself to get to the top of the whole compensation plan. So, Deb, do you guys have any questions or comments or things you want to ask?
Wow, Dr. Corey, that was so amazing. And I put a note in the chat here. I love how you keep it simple. I mean, you really just bring it down to what needs to be done. Let's open it up here. And before I do that, again, Dr. Corey, you've been with us now for 5 weeks in a row. We have these wonderful recorded webinars. And just so everyone realizes who we have teaching us here, this Dr. Corey Gold, one of the leading leaders in our profession, not only in Youngevity, but in the entire world of network marketing. So we've got him right here with us, Trainer of the Year with Youngevity, Independent Marketing Director of the Year with Youngevity, Excellence Award with Youngevity. I think Dr. Corey's won every single award that Youngevity gives out. He is the best of the best, the trainer of trainers. And again, Dr. Corey, we just appreciate you so much. So let me unmute the lines here and have people either ask a question quickly or just share some comments. There we go.
Thanks, Dr. Corey. That was great.
Hey, Dr. Corey, this is Lorette. Do you have any advice on how someone who is growing in leadership can divide up their time to get in touch with their leader? How do you do that?
Well, we've got some background noise there. If someone isn't speaking, if you could go ahead and mute yourself out, that would be great. Otherwise, let me do this, Lorette. I'm going to press *43, and then if you press *6, you'll be in great shape.
Okay.
Deb, could you repeat Lorette's question because I just couldn't hear it?
Yes, I'll go right ahead. This is Lorette. I was wondering, Dr. Corey, how you would advise a new leader to organize their time, to divide up their time, because a lot of people are still at a place where they're working perhaps a full-time job, but they want to be able to support their new leaders as well. How would you suggest they organize their time?
It's a good question. The most fun thing about time is it seems to expand when you're excited. Isn't that interesting? It's like when something exciting happens, you seem to find time to have that happen. So I've always found when I bring in a new team, I always have time for them. How is that possible? It just seems like when I'm excited, I have more time because I do less other things that, quite frankly, aren't that important, like watch TV. But at the beginning, when you only have let's say if your volume's less than $20,000 a month, which is a lot of people's volume, you got to focus on your personal recruiting still. So I still say when somebody says, well, I'm focusing on my downline now, I'm at 5,000 points. You're not big enough to be focusing 100% of your time on your downline. You got to be focusing a lot of your time on personal recruiting and bringing in more leadership and bringing in more customers. But I always put time to my best people. Here, I'll give you something that's the opposite of everything you've ever learned before. I spend more time with my best people and less time with my worst people. I don't mean worse as in like they're not nice people, but not as capable networkers or not as active networkers. And people say, well, why would you spend so much time with Dr. Ariaza and with Mike Battistelli and not time with this new person who's struggling? Well, first off, I'm putting my time into people who are talented and getting it done, where my energies can go the furthest, the fastest, and have the most impact. And a lot of times, there's other people out there, they go, well, if you just spend more time, I could spend 1,000,000 hours with some of the people in my organization, and they'll never do anything. So simply just spending more time with them won't make them motivated or energetic or talk to their prospects list at all. So I always spend the most time that I have with the people getting the most work accomplished. And it seems funny to say that because it's like counterintuitive. Aren't they talented? They're absolutely talented. But those are the people who need the course corrections the most each day. Those are the people who are running into the most challenges and the most problems. They're the ones who are coming into the most new situations, and they need a little bit of mentoring every single day, a couple times a day, to make sure they're on course. Dr. Arialta called me and said, Dr. I need advice today. Why? He's got $1 million in volume. But you want to make sure still, I want to make sure that I'm going the right direction. I want to do the right thing. I want to make sure I'm secure in my comments. I call Tom all the time. Hey, Tom, I know I've got $5 million in volume, but I want to run this by you. Why? Because I want to make sure I'm on the right course the best I can every time. So my answer is to you, spend the majority of your time with the people doing the most in your downline, and the ones who aren't getting stuff done and who aren't making calls and who aren't motivated, I would say I spend the time where I get the best bang for the buck. If I have less than $20,000 in volume or $30,000 in volume, the vast majority of my time is going to be on personal recruiting. And even as an ambassador, I still do personal recruiting every single week, because the second I get out of practice is the second I'm not very good anymore. So I want to make sure that I'm always in the fire with you, because that's how I can make sure that I'm speaking from a place of genuine firsthand knowledge. And I think I get a lot of respect for doing that. It's like, yeah, I'm out there doing a meeting today for 5 people in a living room. Why do you do that? You're making X, Y, Z dollars, because that's how you get it done. And I'm teaching other people to do it right, because that's how you do it. And I still recruit people every single day. Well, why do you recruit people? You're already an ambassador, because that's the business. So I would lead by example at all times. But if somebody in this call had less than $30,000 in volume, I'd be spending the vast majority of my time personal recruiting.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Corey.
That was a great question, Lorette, and a really comprehensive and great response. I feel like we just got the encore. We were clapping, and we got the encore. So thank you, both of you. Anyone else? Last question or comment for Dr. Corey Gold? Go ahead and press *6 if you'd like to unmute yourself. All right. Well, we are going to wrap up this call. I'm going to stop the recording, and then we will open the line so that everyone can thank Dr. Corey and say good evening. Here we go. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us. And again, Dr. Corey, you are a champion of champions. Thank you.
All right, Deb. Thank you.